Public Opinion Season 1 with Lerato Mateka has been a memorable ride in a number of ways. Let's take a look into the journey we have traversed since the very first episode in February to the very last one, which aired last month on June 15th, 2022. We look back at what has been an indeed difficult yet exciting journey of the 15 episodes on this platform, inspired by a constitutional provision of right to freedom of expression as provided for in Section 14 of the Supreme Law of the land. Public Opinion is a space or platform which was created with the sole purpose of discussion of national issues in exercising our constitutional right to express an opinion. However, as the episodes unraveled and the journey was traversed, we saw an interesting development of the powers that be who began paying attention and actually listening to us, and not only that, but going on to even right the wrongs in the public issues and service delivery. We then developed a segment to this platform with episodes we styled Impact. This was first noted after our episode 2, where we talked about the Pito Grand police station, which, because of its signage and branding, looked like it was being overtaken by a certain foreign businessman of Salman Hardware, who was said to have sponsored the name signage. In the making of the episode, we had gone on to interview the management of the Lesotho Mounted Police Service, LMPS, who then informed us that the matter would be investigated and accordingly resolved. And to our relief, this was actually done within a matter of days, because following our airing of this episode, we experienced firsthand as the signage was being fixed back to what the public can identify with as a public police post. Encouraged by the spate of events, we were then motivated to basically look into a number of more national issues with the hope that we could ably get more of you interested in national issues and discuss them, thus exercising your right to freedom of expression on our platform and be heard. And thankfully you did. And as we continued flagging public issues, people began to hear and be moved duly. It is our pleasure to announce that our episodes began touching not only those in positions of political power, but even our colleagues and overseers in the media fraternity, like the Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA Lesotho. For instance, following episode 5, wherein we highlighted the Lesotho Council of Non-Governmental Organizations, LCNs, overstepping when they sought to paint the media with a generalist brush, labeling it unprofessional because of being irritated by Newsday newspapers reporting of the goings-on in the story of one of their own, Executive Director of the Transformation Resource Center, TRC, Tsikwane Peshwana, who was being accused by his staffers of a litany of misgivings, including abuse of power, embezzlement of organizational funds, and even sexual assault, to mention but a few.
No, ndatomzama. Ndatomzama.
The point ya media mo gona re le ka gona media re ka sebetsa jwang lona ebe wena o tlo ipona o le wena advocate ya bona
I'm not an advocate of the media. I'm not. No, I can say the same to you, Ndatomzama.
Jwale ke batla go bua mona phatlalatsa hore ba se ke batla botlola media ho hang ka dintho tse siko ba tle ba tseba ho harena ho gudumela haeba hona le di-institutions tse ba di botlole tse bo dipolitiki tse bo mang mantse ba botlola batho mo ha re qagolo ya batho ba ka botlolwang ke bona ho hang.
The LCN had leashed a full onslaught on the fraternity because of our reportage and shied from facing us. So we called them out in episode 5, humbly asking them to basically stop fishing in a piss pot. An episode which had MISA Lesotho back us and in a press conference tell the LCN to mind own business.
Ke sebilentse ke ka monyetla hore ke etse upload media house no o leng wa ema ka maoto kana kweno ha o bona ho mohlomong o utlwa ka re bana hana gore re thotse ha re ne re ka tshwara ditaba tse eno ka o fela ha go jwalo ho no tla re thusa batho ba ne ba tla tseba hore media ha se mo go bapallwa.
MNN reporting yona Newsday ke ba dibe batho ba tla leng hobane ke ne ke bilela hore se ka ba hantse ba re media tjena ebe ba ne ba re batho bana ba ile ba tla le ke tsona tse kleng tsa tswapele ka ditaba tse ha ona letho le lebile tla le ke batho ba hle ba report hantle I confirm ke dutse mona re di shebile di article tsa bona ne motlale ye mong le mong wa ditaba phelang hantle ka hlong ka mona nna ka tlalewa tse ino ha di ngola.
We went on to address a number of other public interest issues in a number of other episodes, to which, thankfully because of your support, we continued to record Impact. The following are but a fraction of issues we addressed, which had those in positions of power listen and do something about our concerns. We discussed how political party leaders shun street vendors in their campaign initiatives, yet expected them to support them during elections, and that even in the few instances when they sought to address them, they didn't even at least buy their stock. Later, a trend of show of goodwill by the political party leaders ensued, and they were slowly seen buying street vendors' stock, even if others did and do still continue to do so in a kind of mockery to the vendors. We spoke at length about how the Ministry of Transport seemed to overlook the interest of the public in favor of the public transport owners, whom they had just agreed to give a 30% across-the-board fare price hike. Later, the price hike, though still implemented for the second time inside a space of less than a year, was no longer done at 30% across the board. Well, so in episode 15 of this season last month, we spoke about the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and its discharge of mandate. Or should I say lack thereof? Prosecuting criminal cases, favoring some over others. Specifically, we had highlighted among others a number of sexual assault cases which seemed to be ignored after they had been filed by police following investigations from as far back as last year, inclusive of one in which a school teacher cum pedophile was charged with sexually assaulting a 17-year-old pupil from his school. There was also the Peshone sexual assault matter, which was looking so dormant that even some prostitutes with questionable credibility, well, that's a story for another day, had begun raving about this and that in relation to the case.
Oh, well, that is the newspaper.
Hello?
Oh, well, that one is the newspaper.
Mama.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, me no ko pa update ka case ya TRC and the one.
Update you close to you don't call my number, okay? There's a PR of not me.
Okay, Michael.
We are glad to say that both suspects have seen their day in court, and their cases, which have been the cause of a public social media frenzy, were begun in court and are ongoing. Matete Balepito, 43, appeared before the Leribe Magistrate Court in the first week of July to answer to charges of sexual assault, while Zigwane Peshwana appeared in the Magistrate Court on the 11th July 2022 to also answer to sexual assault charges. Both suspects have since been remanded on bail and will appear in court on set dates. As we wrap up what has been a very exciting season 1 of Public Opinion with Lerato Matika, we are elated to have made this impact we have and for the milestones we reached. We look forward to another exciting season whose shooting has begun and due for airing in a few days.
Our beloved Deputy Prime Minister, he goes with the whole entourage, financed by you and I. What am I? Olobula, a pizza parlor. We
would like to thank all those who made this season the resounding success it became. Gratitude is extended to you, our viewers, and participants of this platform. Please continue supporting and participating, as by so doing, you exercise your constitutional right. We are also thankful to our business associates, partners, and advertisers. Your support is immense and continues to make us who we are. We would also like to thank, in a special way, our Newsday Media News Editor, Boitumelo Koloi, who is also part of our production team, for his contribution for filling in on a number of episodes to ensure that even in the absence of the lead anchor, you continued being informed. Thanks also to Tumelo Skills Taule for working his mad skills towards ensuring that the graphics were as close to what we wanted as possible for your due information. Thanks also to the entire team at Newsday Media. To you, I say, let us continue pacing standards. Till we meet again next time for a new season. Goodbye.
Baba makile mona bare. Retla fela ba le ditulong ka yeno.
Ke di bona ke rone he ha ba tla gatlwa ke tsepe ya sisano le feta. Le mafutsana le mathele ba ru. Ke a lone yo ta.
Mona mo le eme kaofela. Le ntse le ha le village. A o ka theka June ho a dikgetho. le lo koloka le fihla le kgetha le be le re isetse hape gore Basotho ba jwala
ha le ema mona le ntse le re ka nnete re se re rapela a mpho go utlweleng bohloko hela ge dipolotiki mona dipolotiki ha di etse ka dithapelo dipolotiki ke boitseko
o tono e tsalang ka di-500 nna ke ne ke re boeletsi ba ka kore batho bana ba le tshepisitseng ba ntse ba le teng e ba atameleng bana e le go le joe
mme ha ba etsa letho ka yene lena haeba ba ka batla etsa letho nna ke a le bolella le se ka la itumella hore le thetswe ka fukalantja ha le bana